Decision making. Yeah, one of the key words in the Danish school is participation in making decisions. Medbestemmelsesret. That all the students have a right to participate in making decisions about their own education, what to learn and what to do. Of course, we are all bound up by the curriculum, and that's of course what we have to tell them if they suddenly don't want to learn to read or anything like that. But actually, they have a great part of it more and more as they get older. I've experienced in 6th grade telling them that the subject was the Second World War, and then we talked about what did they want to learn and how did they want to do it. Did they want me to stand by the board telling them a lot? Did they want to go find books in the library? Did they want to work in groups? Did they want to make a PowerPoint presentation or presentation on the wall? Did they want to make questions for each other? And all that, with me, they decided how to learn about Second World War. So I decided the subject, and they decided all the ways that they want to work about.
Yeah. What does democracy mean to you in general terms?
It means that we have the privilege to be a part of the society and take part in discussions, and there are rules for it, and all can give their opinion on things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have choose people to say our opinion, like in parties.
It means for me that all people have a chance to be heard.
That everybody has idea and is everybody
everybody can express their
yes.
ideas.
Smirna, and I'm not a teacher, but they call me when there's a teacher sick, and I come to tutor the kids. And I'm going to the university after the summer. For me, democracy is that all people are equal and are treated equal, and that all people have the possibilities to vote if they want to.
Hi, and now we are going to talk about democracy with family. In the classroom that we went and we observed the students. We have some questions about democracy for you. Mm-hmm. And the first question is, what is the role of democracy in education? Can you give some descriptions?
Yeah, well, democracy in education is one of the ground stones in our school today, because it's one of what is a part of the foundation for the whole society in Denmark. And it's not something that we discuss every day and think about every day, because the country has been democratic for so many years, and so it's just everywhere around us. It's the way we talk, the way we act upon each other, and the way, for example, we solve conflicts between children. It's always hearing two sides of the story and talking about what did you do and how did you do, and in general in the classroom everything that we do has a sort of democratic color. When we talk about who's going to be in the student council, we make democratic elections and talk with the children about it. When there's election in Denmark for prime minister or for the city council, we also talk with the children, because they see posters, and it's a normal thing that the parents take their children to the election places and show them what are we doing here and why are we doing it. And we talk about who's deciding what and why, and they see it here that they have a right to talk in the student council, and the headmaster is a part of the student council, and they know that they have a right to express their opinions about what we do in the school today and the books, and it's not something that they're afraid of doing, and then we can make discussions about what and why we do the things we do.
Yeah, it's clear that every student learns something about the democracy, but what's the difference between the early and the later grades in terms of the democracy?
Well, when they get older, they have a big understanding of responsibility for their own education. We of course in the earlier grades we do it in the ways that they can understand when they're not so old yet. But for example, in 6th grade, I once had a period about Second World War, and I talked with the children about how they wanted to learn about the subject and how they wanted to do all the things. They didn't want to go to internet, find books. They wanted to work in groups. They didn't want to make PowerPoint presentations. So they had had the right to be a part of making the decisions about the subject and how to work with it. That would be a bit different in the small grades because they don't have so many varieties of thinking about how to do things. But still, if we have a project in a week, we can talk about what do you like to work with, and they will raise their hands and tell me, and we can talk about it.
They also talk. You also talk about Danish culture.
Yeah.
Right? Culture.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes. In the curriculum, we have to teach Scandinavian culture, and on this school we don't have. I really don't know why we don't have that many immigrants in this school. Just 5 kilometers from here, there's about a third part of the classrooms who can be from different kind of cultures. But it's a part of the media, and it's a part of the Danish society, and it's a part of what the children see, especially when they see children's television. And the musical show at the moment on Danish national TV is X Factor, and it represents always a part of Danish people and also immigrants. So they, and some of the people who are very good at it, at the moment it's actually means one from his family comes from Turkey. So at that point they talk about he has a different name, and why does he have a different name, and where does he come from, and what's the culture behind that. And last time we had one where his parents were sitting in the audience, and the mother was wearing the scarf above. Yeah, and then we talk about that. So in that way, it's a part of everyday life, and we have to talk about it. When we don't have someone in the classroom, it's not so much in the small classes, but it's a part of the curriculum in the bigger classes in terms of history and society, the classes about society, and of course also we have Christianity, which later turns into a religion in general. So it's actually it's a big part of the Danish understanding to be democratic, also in understanding other cultures. And most of us like to believe that is how we think.
You also give importance to other cultures, but you also teach your culture. I mean the Danish culture.
Yes.
There's also acculturation, but Danish culture is also important, you say.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's mostly about traditions. Because when we try to point out special cultural things in Denmark, it's actually quite difficult. It's easier to point out things about other countries. Yes. So it's mostly about traditions and why we have the traditions. It's mostly based upon Christianity, most of it. And then we talk about why we still do it, why it's important. because not so many are religious in Denmark,
Yeah.
actually. So, but we still go to church in Christmas, and then we talk to the children. Why do we do it? It's important for them to know.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. I hope you got what you needed.
Would like to do.
Also, can the students criticize the things they don't like, or also they think it's not practical or useful for them?
They are allowed to criticize if they want to do that, and they can tell the teachers that maybe they don't think that what they are doing are interesting enough or something, and then the teacher has to what do I think about that and so on. But it's not certain that it will be the way the pupils want, but they are allowed to say, give their opinion about matters.
It's up to teacher.
Yeah, it's up to the teacher, but they will consider what the pupils say.
And do you also suggest new ways for teachers?
What?
Do you also suggest new ways for teachers
New ways
about
to do
teaching?
things? Yeah.
Yeah,
We have,
just like that.
yeah, but we have, it can be ways, different ways of teaching a new pedagogue, what do you call it, pedagogue?
Yeah.
And right now, here in this school, we work with cooperative learning.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also work with the way you are together with the pupils, with the students. The way you act is probably the way they will act to you. So if you shout or yell a lot of the pupils, maybe it's the same way they will react on you. So you have to meet the students with
With their needs.
yeah, but not always their needs, but you have to accept or respect the way they are. And it's not, maybe they have to work with the way they are and so on, the students, but it's, what do you call it? It's the way we start, you can say, if they have problems at home, for example, you have to be aware of that as a teacher. You can't accept that, you can't think that they will be the same way as the other students.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we couldn't confront with any pedagogue here.
No.
Yeah.
What?
We couldn't confront, we couldn't see any pedagogue here.
Okay, okay. Some, we have the pedagogues, they are in, after school, we have a place they go,
Okay.
and there are the pedagogues, and in some hours, 4 or 5 hours each week, they are in the class, and are together with the teacher in the class, and can work with the way the students, for example, are together, other problems in the group and so on, and maybe they work with the girls in a period